Folks, welcome into another edition of Hot Topics here on pubsportsradio.com. You, the people, vote on the choices out there. And today, Jeff, I know you'll like this, being a Yankee fan, we're going to talk American League favorites.
I was actually hoping, Donnie, we talk NL. I have a little bit more. I have a little bit more thought on the NL, frankly, than I do on the AL. But for me, I think, Donnie, when you're betting futures or you're looking to bet futures, you got to look a little deeper. You got to look a little finer. And sometimes the favorite. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not betting on the favorite in the AL, but I'll give you my opinion who I think is going to win.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? Because we're going to take a look. We'll take a look at the three divisions in the AL, and then we'll give an overall maybe prognostication of who we think is going to win it all. But just took a look at the AL. I think we can all look as the Yankees as a prohibitive favorite, right? I mean, look, if whether their pitching staff comes in or not comes in, or who's hurt, who's not hurt, they have the guns up top certainly to compete, and especially with that killer lineup. Now, moving forward, they have deep pockets, and we're still talking all of this, Jeff, in the midst of the coronavirus. So are we going to have a full season with a full gate? What's the trading deadline going to look at? When's baseball actually going to get underway? But just looking from a synopsis before opening day, which, what a shame, Jeff. It should be today that we'd be enjoying some baseball. The Yankees prohibitive favorite, especially in the AL East. And how about this, Jeff? Usually it's what? Ooh, Red Sox, Yankees. Doesn't look like the Red Sox anywhere near the top here, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, the problem the Red Sox have is that rotation is just horrific. I mean, there's nothing there to get excited about. And, it's interesting, Donnie, in the AL, I mean, as with any team, I mean, the lack of really quality pitching in the major leagues anymore is fascinating. I mean, you really have to go, years ago, I remember, obviously look at teams like the Braves years ago. I mean, you had 3 or 4 guys that were just top level guys. I mean, anymore, you're lucky if you have 2 really good starting pitchers, but that's just a sign of the times. The Yankees obviously are going to get all the fanfare. I still have questions. Look, I love the fact that they went out and got Garrett Cole. You spent a ton of money. I mean, did they spend more than the Senate did on the package last night to get Garrett Cole? But, at the end of the day, I still worry. I mean, James Paxton's on the disabled list right now. Tanaka, what's he going to give you? I mean, he's always been very up and down. J-Hap, I think he's just a 3rd or 4th starter. You had to give up Justice Sheffield. The lineup's going to be fine. Look, they're going to be up at the top. But to me, Donnie, I mean, Houston, if I'm going to take a team, I'm actually going to look more towards Houston. I just trust their starting pitching a little bit more. I think their bullpen's really good. And that lineup is I think, going to probably be able to match the Yankees. But when you're looking at futures, you want to obviously look and delve into some of the other teams, maybe a team that can kind of do some things that is off the beaten path. Tampa's interesting. I think with Snell and Morton up top, Glass now I think really came on last year. And, that lineup's not going to really blow you away, but they got some really good bats in there. They went out and added some guys that I think could give them some pop. They obviously have that young nucleus. But, Donnie, the team that I'm looking at out of the AL, Minnesota, okay, this team is interesting, man. They have that lineup is fierce. You add Donaldson, you already have Sano and Polanco and Rosario and all those guys. But I really like what they have in this pitching rotation. I mean, Jose Barrios has shown that he's a top-flight starter. Odorizzi's coming off a really solid season. And they go out and get Kenta Maeda, who, I think – with a change of scenery, I think he's going to do some good things in the AL. Obviously, whenever you go to the AL, you obviously have a little bit. Still, Donnie, we argue about why the AL and NL have different situations. Why is it amazing in this league that they have one league has a DH and one league doesn't? I don't know any sport in America that has 2 separate things for 2 different leagues. It's really wild. But you get Michael Pineda back as well. He was on the disabled list last year. I like Minnesota. I think their lineup is going to mash. And, I mean, Donnie, is it wrong to say that they could have the best rotation? I mean,
it's interesting because with the Twins, you're right about it. And they're looking at a division there where the Cleveland Indians, seemingly don't want to hang on to their town. They're looking to shop some of the best players. And it seems like that comes up each and every year. So that this should be the Twins' year. But you're right. From being a team total guy, Jeff, I loved it last year. And your point being, the AL having a DH and the NL not. I mean, look at the advantages that you have. Like when the NL, let's just say, we'll keep the Twins up here, right? An NL team comes over and they use a utility guy as a DH. Well, they use Nelson Cruz for the Twins. I mean, you're talking about a lineup. You're right. Sano, which we saw him go up and down and have his struggles, but when he's right, a huge power hitter. Kepler's fantastic in right field. If you can see some improvement again from Buxton, the center fielder, that with a dominant or all that speed, getting on base for some of these killers out of Rosario in left field, Donaldson, the addition at third base. This team should win the division. I think you're right. And I like your vantage point that you're talking about because, hey, let's lay the Yankees, minus 380 to win the division, which they should win it. But looking overall at the AL as a whole, there are a lot of teams that compete. And you also talked to and touched on the Tampa Bay Rays, always up there. If their pitching staff can stay healthy, they got some talent, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of one of those teams that's just going to find ways. I mean, I think they're going to win a lot of lower scoring games. They have remember last year how they used the bullpen in games?
Yep.
I mean, they just had a really elite bullpen. Donnie, I'm going to be real with you, and I'm not afraid to say this. I think the Astros are going to be a better overall team than the Yankees. I look at this lineup. I mean, every single guy is where's the issue in the Astros lineup? Can he tell me what it is? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. And then I look at the Yankees lineup and I see, is it conceivable to say that Luke Voit, Mike Tauchman, Gio Urshela, is it safe to say that we can see where maybe they don't replicate what they did in years past? I know they have Cole, but that rotation still concerns me. I mean, really outside of Cole, I mean, Paxton's injured. I don't know what I'm going to get out of the rest of the group. I know up at that Astros top level, I'm going to get Verlander, I'm going to get Greinke, and I'm going to get a really solid pitcher in McCullers. So to me, I think the Astros win this league. I think a team to keep my eye on is going to be Tampa and Minnesota. I'm not really going out on a limb here with any of these, but I mean, again, Donnie, sometimes you have to go chalk. I mean, the MLB, it's pretty chalky, man.
No, because you're not covering spreads, right? We're not talking about, for the most part, that the Yankees have to win by 3.5 runs in this ball game. You're basically just asking them to win. So let's take a look at the Major League Baseball American League pennant as a whole. Obviously, the Yankees coming and using five dimes lines right here, plus 163 for the Yankees, the Astros 365, and the Twins plus 900. After that, you're getting into the Cleveland Indians about plus 1,000, Tampa Bay Rays around 1,100. But your point is right on the Astros. We're getting mad at them. We're angry at them. Yes, as fans, they cheated. They did.
Yeah, but that doesn't no bearing going forward. I mean,
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like moving into this season, you're not taking players off the field. Nobody got suspended. Let's also remember last year, they had a lot of downtime with some of their superstar players, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. Look at this team, Jeff. First base, Yuri Gurriel, Altuve at second base, Correa at short, Bregman at third, Brantley, Springer, and Reddick in the outfield with a strong bench, and Alvarez as a DH. So basically, you took Garrett Cole off that team. Yes, that's a big disadvantage to take him off. But that's all that happened, and you have a world championship caliber team. Maybe, Jeff, even playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder this year?
Yeah, I definitely think they do. You also go out and get Alemdis Diaz, who did some good things with the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah, look, I don't see a lot of flaws with them. And again, you mentioned, I think they have that chip on their shoulder. Hey, look, you don't think we can go out and win without cheating? Well, look, we're going to go out and win without cheating. Listen, at the end of the day, they maintain better pitching. I think they have a better overall lineup than the Yankees. Donnie, I want to throw one thing out as well.
Go.
I'm not a big win total guy, but I'm going to tell you right now, this Seattle Mariner team is bad. They are, my God. I mean, that lineup, Donnie, is horrific. What is that lineup? Seriously, what the hell is this?
I mean, you're also talking about if you're going to put a bad lineup out there, right, you better have some strong pitching because we do both know it's not a great hitter's ballpark. Is anybody hitting in that ballpark?
Yeah, I mean, you look at their starting rotation. Marco Gonzalez is your ace. I mean, Yusei Kikuchi, Taijuan Walker. I mean, Justice Sheffield might be the best pitcher overall, and Kendall Graveman. I mean, this is just horrific. They're going to lose a lot of games. Obviously, the Baltimore Orioles are going to lose a lot of games. I mean, if Houston should win the AL Central by 25 games, I mean.
You know what's interesting about this too, Jeff? Real quick on one of these teams that I don't know if they fly under the radar, but still, we don't have any in depth or supposed to be Major League Baseball opening day. We don't, but one of those teams again, I like to look from an angle where some of these are. We want to catch these teams maybe a year ahead of schedule as opposed to behind. A team like the White Sox, Jeff. Giolito, Keuchel, Gonzalez, Cease. You even get the young flamethrower Kopech back, but you're also talking about a team that has Grandel behind the plate, Edwin Encarnacion as a DH possibility, Jose Abreu, Garcia, Anderson, Moncada. It's endless. They got talent in White Sox.
They made some nice moves in the offseason. Obviously, bringing in Edwin Encarnacion. You mentioned Grandal behind the plate. That rotation, all of a sudden, Donnie, is pretty interesting. they're the team. If the Twins are going to get a run from a team, I think it's them. To be honest, I think if you're a North Sider, you should get a little excited about this team for the first time in a while, Donnie. Maybe since 2005. I mean, this team's pretty interesting. I'm not saying they're going to go to the World Series, but they got some talent. They got some pop. Obviously Abreu's really become one of the better players in the major leagues that no one really talks about. The Northsiders, I like the White Sox as well. Great call.
No, it should be an interesting baseball season. We'll keep you updated each and every day. Some baseball talk here. It's nice on Major League Baseball's opening day. That's not going to take place, but it is what it is. We'll keep these hot topics firing right here on pubsportsradio.com. For Jeff and myself, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you get that vote in. Hey, maybe we'll talk a little bit more Major League Baseball as well.